yesterday.
Good.
Yeah, we're good.
He disappeared.
That's
like
why we didn't get connected.
Jabril. Where's he been, man? Stole to Ross without touch telephone. Straighten your rolls. You can't say, make your gaps, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Religiously, I can't say that, but, you know, make the line straight.
Stand a little bit behind the white cloth so you can make sujood.
Because your face, they want your face on the plastic.
So stand behind it, not on it. Right behind it, and that should be
A couple of steps behind it.
okay.
Yeah. At least two. So when they prostrate their face.
Now,
Stove to Ross. Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar.
Allahu
Allahu
Akbar.
Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. سبح اسم ربك العالي الذي خلق فسوى الذي قدر فهدى والذي أخرج المرعى فجعله غثاء أحوى سنقرئك فلا تنسى إلا ما شاء الله إنه يعلم الجهر وما يخفى وليسرك لليسرى فذكر إن نفعت الذكرى سيذكر من يخشى ويتجنبها الأشقى الذي يصلى النار الكبرى ثم لا يموت فيها ولا يحيا قد أفلح من تزكى وذكر اسم ربه فصلى بل تؤثرون الحياة الدنيا والآخرة خير وأبقى إن هذا لفي الصحف الأولى صحف إبراهيم وموسى. الله أكبر. سبحانك اللهم ربنا وبحمدك اللهم اغفر سمع الله لمن حمده اللهم ربنا ولك الحمد كثير طيب مبارك فيه.
الله أكبر. 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 بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. بسم الله. هل أتاك حديث الغاشية وجوه يومئذ خاشعة عاملة ناصبة تصلى نارا حامية تسقى من عين عانية ليس لهم طعام إلا من ضريع لا يسمن ولا يغني من جوع وجوه يومئذ نائمة لسعيها راضية في جنة عالية لا تسمع فيها لاغيا فيها عين جارية فيها سرر مرفوعة وأكواب موضوعة ونمارق مصفوفة وزرابي مبثوثة أفلا ينظرون إلى الإبل كيف خلقت وإلى السماء كيف رفعت وإلى الجبال كيف نصبت وإلى الأرض كيف سطحت فذكر إنما أنت مذكر لست عليهم بمسيطر إلا من تولى وكفر فيعذبه الله العذاب الأكبر إن إلينا إيابهم ثم إن علينا حسابهم. الله أكبر. سبحانك اللهم ربنا وبحمدك اللهم حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيك اللهم لك ربنا وبك أسلمت وبك وجدت وجهي وبخالق بالسماء فتبارك الله أحسن الخالقين. سمع الله لمن حمدا. اللهم ربنا ولك الحمد كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. اللهم سبحانك. الله أكبر. وأشهد صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم بارك محمد في عالمين إنك حميد مجيد. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة. اللهم ربنا لنا وفق الفقر ومن عذاب القبر ومن عذابك الشرك وحسبك ومن ستر قلوبنا وكفر سيئاتنا وتوفنا مع الأبرار. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. Those people that just came in who missed the Salah, because we're going to pray again at 10 o'clock, they can wait to pray again if they didn't join the Salah. If they joined the Salah, then they should make the second rak'ah. Actually, if they join the Salah and they miss the ruku', then they have to do the 2 rak'ah in totality. So if they want to wait, you can wait to 10. If they don't, then you make 8 to the side, 7 takbirah, first rak'ah, 5 the second. Taqwa ma tayassara laka min al-Quran. Read what's easy for you from the Quran. Tamshi, and keep it moving. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. يقول الله سبحانه وتعالى في التنزيل: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته. And obey Allah and stay away from the prohibited things and worship Him, give Him His right as a servant and worshiping Him. وَلَا تَمُوتُنَّ إِلَّا وَأَنْتُمْ مُسْلِمُونَ. And don't die except as a Muslim at the time of death in obedience to Allah. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة. And worship the Lord who created you all, who created you from a single soul, that is our father Adam. وَخَلَقَ مِنْهَا زَوْجَهَا. From his soul, as a favor and a mercy and a sign, created him a wife. وَبَثَّ مِنْهُمَا رِجَالًا كَثِيرًا وَنِسَاءً. And as a sign that Allah exists, وَهُوَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ. And He has power to do all things. He made generations after generations, and those too. وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ الَّذِي تَسَاءَلُونَ بِهِ وَالْأَرْحَامَ. And part of fearing Allah is keeping the family ties and also making dua, asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for what you need. That same Lord that is giving you the family ties, He is a watcher over you. Inna Allah kana alaykum raqiba. So therefore do what's right. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu ittaqullah. All you who believe, obey Allah wa ta'ala once more. Leave the prohibited things. وَقُولُوا قَوْلًا سَدِيدًا. And the ulama, they said قَوْلًا سَدِيدًا means that kalimat al-haq, that which is true. قَوْلًا sawab, that which is good. fi munasib wa fi hikmatihi, in its proper place at its proper time. وَقَوْلًا سَدِيدًا كَذَلِكَ مَخْصُوصًا shahada. And some scholars said particularly the straight word is the shahada. يُصْلِحْ لَكُمْ أَعْمَالَكُمْ. You will be rewarded by Allah, and He will fix your affairs due to the statement, the shahada, and saying what's good at the proper time and the suitable occasion. يُصْلِحْ لَكُمْ أَعْمَالَكُمْ وَيَغْفِرْ لَكُمْ ذُنُوبَكُمْ. And He will forgive you for your sins. Who does not need their sins forgiven? وَمَن يُطِعِ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ. And whoever obeys Allah and His messenger. Allah said whoever obeys Allah and His messenger. Now, فَقَدْ فَازَ فَوْزًا عَظِيمًا. Then you will achieve the great success that is the Jannah. ثُمَّ مَا بَعْدَ فَإِنَّ خَيْرَ الْكَلَامِ كَلَامُ اللَّهِ سُبْحَانَهُ وَتَعَالَى الْقُرْآنَ الْكَرِيمِ. And the best speech is the speech of Allah, the Quran. And some ulama said speech anytime Allah spoke to the day of judgment, after the day of judgment, any books, any hadith, qudsi, kullu hadha kalam Allah. It's the best speech, the speech of Allah. وَخَيْرُ هُدَى هَدِي مُحَمَّدٍ صَلَّوَاتُ اللَّهِ وَسَلَامُ عَلَيْهِ. And the best guidance, generally and figuratively speaking, religiously and socially, the best way is the way of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. وَشَرُّ الْأُمُورِ مُحْدَثَاتُهَا. And the worst way, those things that have not been sanctioned in the religion. إِنَّ كُلُّ مُحْدَثَةٍ بِدْعَةٍ وَكُلُّ بِدْعَةٍ ضَلَالَةٍ وَكُلُّ ضَلَالَةٍ فِي النَّارِ. And everything that has not been sanctioned, meaning it does not agree with the religion, neither does it go with the religion, then, and let me rephrase that, if it does not go against the religion or it coincides with the religion, then this is okay. Because we've learned that bid'ah, that the Prophet do it point blank, no, it's bid'ah. No. It includes if it goes with the religion, there's a general text for that, or that it does not go against the religion, then it's okay. Anything that goes against the religion, with reason, anything that does not coincide with the religion, with reason, because there's always an exception to the rule, then this is bid'ah, and most of the time they're talking about in belief and in the acts of worship. Today, we are in the blessed day of Eid. And my address is going to talk about what to do after Ramadan. How do you know? What are some of the signs that you know that Allah accepted from you your fasting? Allah accepted from you your praying. Allah accepted from you your good deeds. Allah accepted from you your sadaqah. What are some of the signs of that? Because everybody would like to know. But prior to that, I want to go back to the ayat where Allah Ta'ala said, Shahr Ramadan ladhi unzila fihi al-Quran. The month of Ramadan is the month in which the Quran was revealed. Huda lin-nas. It is a guidance for the people. So just that reason that Allah sent us something of direction. We know how we feel in this technical time and world when you don't have your phone. We know the panic that people feel when the GPS stops. Imagine we're in the life 2020, 14, what are we on the Hijri calendar? 41. And we have no guidance. Kullu min nas ala ma yuhib. Everybody is just doing and is able to do what he likes. It will be a catastrophe. This one wants to go, the light is green, he goes. That one wants to go, his light is red. This one wants to stop, his light is green. All kinds of catastrophes. Allah sent the Quran for many reasons. وَمِنْهُمْ الْهُدَى وَبَيِّنَةٌ مِنَ الْهُدَى وَالْفُرْقَانِ. As guidance and then a further detailed clarification because some things need more detail. That's one of the whole reasons of fasting in Ramadan, commemorating this great event. Because Allah could have left us with the prior revelation. We know Allah Ta'ala said, يَحَرِّفُونَ كَلِمَ عَنْ مَوَاضِعِهِ. They changed the words from the meanings. They wrote with their hands. And then they said, هَذَا مِنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ. This is what Allah said. Allah could have left us like that. حَاشَ لِلَّهِ. But as they say, oh my God, no way. Allah's not going to do that. He did not leave us without guidance. But rather, he sent a messenger to us. So this is part of why we're standing here now. Because at the end of that ayah, Allah said, وَلِتُكَبِّرُ اللَّهَ عَلَى مَا هَدَاكُمْ. You praise Allah. You feel the Islamic spirit of Allah's deen. You feel the happiness, the relief of being able to go through a month of guidance, seeking guidance, having forgiveness, gaining introspect, doing good deeds, looking at yourself, gaining closeness to Allah, increasing in Iman, ultimately getting closer to the meeting with Allah Ta'ala, and that's when you're going to die. فَضْلٌ نِعْمَةٌ عَظِيمًا. This is a great lesson and a great bounty from Allah Ta'ala. But if we go back, Allah Ta'ala, He said, فَمَنْ شَهَدَ مِنْكُمُ الشَّهْرَ فَلْيَصُمْهُ. Whosoever. Here, when we took the class, in the beginning of Ramadan, on Siyam, and we mentioned the explanation that the scholars say, فَمَنْ شَهِدَ, they said, فَمَنْ حَاضِرَ, whoever is present. Not necessarily you see it. وَمَنْ حَاضِرَ وَبَالِغَ لَهُ عِلْمًا بِدُخُولِ رَمَضَانِ فَلْيَصُمْهُ. Whoever is alive and the knowledge reaches him, or her, or them, that the month has begun, فَصُومُوا بِرُؤْيَتِهَا وَأَفْتَرُوا بِرُؤْيَتِهَا. Naam. That's what the Prophet said, which his job, one of them is to explain this Quran. He says, so when you all see it, ummatan, when you all see it, Musliman, when you all see it, mu'minan, when you all see it, dhakran, when you all see it, untha, when you all see it, kabiran, when you all see it, sagiran, when you all see it, aliman, when you all see it, jahilan, when you all see it, sumu li ru'yatiha, aftaru li ru'yatiha. Then you begin your fast and you break it when you see it. That's for the male, the female, the Muslim who just came in the door, the person that's been a Muslim for a while. She's reached the level of I'm a mu'min, meaning I taste the sweetness of deeds. The one who has reached the highest level, ihsan. The one who was young, old, male, female, layman, alim, rich, poor, fast and break it. That's why in the Sunnah, when the story of Abdullah ibn Abbas, famous story, came back from Sham, when he reached Medina, he found them doing something different. What did he find them doing in Medina? And Abu Ahmed. It's permissible to talk in this khutbah if I ask you. What did Abdullah ibn Abbas find the people doing when he reached Medina in that story? Fasting? You sure? I said Abu Ahmed.
He was fasting. They was praying.
Wayne Abu Ahmed.
He left already.
He left. Okay. Somebody said fasting. You sure? They were fasting in Medina.
No, they was making Eid. He was fasting.
Okay. Okay. Alhamdulillah. He was fasting and they were doing what in Medina? Making Eid. If you search any books, حتى كتب المتأخرين, even the books of the people of today, or the books of the people that came before us, of ulama, حتى كتب المبتدعين, even the books of people of bid'ah, you will not find anybody to say هذا كان اختلاف بينهما, that was differencing and they were in opposition, they were not together. Allah ibn Abbas, from the great companions, from the family of the Prophet, from the ulama, the Sahaba, he reaches Medina and they doing what?
Salatul Eid.
Salatul Eid. He's doing what?
Fasting.
Did he say, okay, it's Eid, khalas, give me some dates, barakallahu fikum, bismillah? No. What did he do?
Fasting.
Finish his fast. So that point is very important for us to understand when we talk about what normally happens with us. If we don't fast at the same time, or we don't break at the same time, people go crazy. And people feel really like some real funk about this, like someone's going to hell because someone is so right and someone is so wrong. But look at this example. And do you think the next day, Abdullah ibn Abbas said, well, they had Eid in Medina, so I don't need to pray and it's not Eid for me. And do you think he prayed alone? Is it narrated that he prayed alone? No, we don't know if others joined him for Nawafil Sunnah, extra credit, as you can do that. We don't know if people traveled with him to Sham and when he came back they were with him, so he had a group. We just know he's mentioned in the narration. So what's the point? Wallahi, if the Prophet ﷺ said this about the moon, because there's a lot of talk about calculation and it's impossible to see it. Wallahi, from Ashariya, Allah clearly said, and the Prophet clearly mentioned and said the issue of seeing the moon. And make no mistake about it, the moon is always there, but it's an issue of visibility. But who knows if somebody's going to be able to see it or not see it, just like we have storms. Sometimes they say the storm is heading this way, prepare Atlantic City, the shores, it's going to be heavy. And then guess what? Allah Ta'ala command the angel to turn that thing the other way. And they're amazed. They're watching it on the satellite that Allah blessed them to have knowledge of to do it. They're watching it unfold and can't understand it. The most they can say is Mother Nature. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. So how can we say with definity and wishful thinking it's impossible to have seen the moon? هذا هو الله المستعان. شيء عظيم. This is tanqis li qudrat Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is giving a short to the greatness of Allah. Because it's up to Allah. It's up to Allah.
Now, the second thing is, well, this is in the books of the past. Shaykh Islam Taymiyyah talked about it, how the moon comes from the west and goes eastward, where the sun comes from the east and goes where? To the west. And that you don't always see the moon because it's dependent on the light from the sun that shines on that moon. And that the moon, normally, you don't see the visibility across the whole earth. It's a small window. This is old information. Shaykh Islam Taymiyyah talked about it. He said, therefore, if the people see the moon in the west, everybody that's west of them, if it reaches them, it's binding for them to take it. But the people east, it's not binding because it's possible that the people in the east may not see it because the moon, you start seeing it come from the west going towards the east. This is old information, man. But we fighting. The third thing is, if the Prophet ﷺ, one narration, Ibn Umar said he's seen it, and the Prophet said, announce to the people to fast. Then what about when you have multiple people? Multiple people, shuyukh, people of knowledge, integrity. Allah said, يَرْفَ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مِنْكُمْ وَالَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْعِلْمَ دَرَجَاتٍ. Allah has raised in degrees from amongst you those who believe. Is everybody on the same level as a Muslim now? Why? Because Allah raised you in degrees, different levels. Allah said, وَالَّذِينَ أُوتُوا عِلْمَ دَرَجَاتٍ. And those who have knowledge, the same thing, degrees. But the Prophet ﷺ, he also said, مَن يُرِدِ اللَّهُ بِهِ خَيْرًا يُفَقِّهُ فِي الدِّينِ. Whoever Allah wants good for him, He's going to give him an understanding of the deen. So this shows us on different levels. You had Shaykh Muhammad Ahmed Loh. We know him. He's from Ahlul Sunnah. عقيدته سليم وعنده ماذا قدرة على تعليم وتحكيم, and he's known, he has reputation for his scholarship from Senegal. We got the writing from him that they verified those people who said they seen it, they verified their character. The people of knowledge verified that they seen it in 7 different African countries. Wasn't nobody on the side of the road eating the corn or the cob or, eating some sambusa. 7 different countries, multiple people, narrations, including ulama, great virtuous scholars. How are we going to take that and flush that down the toilet? Somebody said, well, they didn't see it in Saudi. Saudi, let's be sure. Saudi is not a condition for you to break your fast or start your fast. Woman, ain't I take? Where you get that from? Another one said, well, Akhi, already made my niyat to fast tomorrow. Akhi, and Allahu musta'an, Akhi. Then somebody they put in comment, they said, oh, perhaps those people in Africa, they seen, they said Venus or Jupiter or one of the planets, something shot out, trying to make mockery. Which one is closer? Venus or Jupiter? One of them.
Venus.
Huh?
Venus.
Venus, yeah. It said Venus, maybe they see Venus. This, a'udhu billahi min sharri, is why we were in the state that we're in now. Because look at this, all of this is unnecessary. And at the end of the day, it is very possible for some people to have Laylatul Qadr tonight, and then you'll have it tomorrow. That's why the Prophet said to seek it in the last, what?
10 days.
It's possible. While you have one moon in the sky, it's possible for all of this. Allahumma musta'an. So, this is something, and wallahi, some of it has to do with politics, racism. Allahumma musta'an. We know that if it came from an Arab continent, people would have jumped on it without verification. Akhi, Allah musta'an, if it's about color, let it be known that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he's from Dhurriyat Mada Ismail. Who's Ismail's mother? You want to talk about color. And he was suckled by Barakah, which her name is Mada, Hani, who was the mother of who? Zayd ibn Thabit, who was what? African. So while we play all of these games, the Sharia was sent to be followed. Not to make fitna, not to divide, not to go against. It was sent to be followed. فَلْيَفْرَحُوا. So we should be rejoicing. And no for surety, just because someone broke his fast on Friday, who took that narration, and someone didn't, that does not mean that we're divided. Does not mean that we're divided. Lastly, the issue of local sighting. And then we'll mention 3 hadith about what you should do after Ramadan. We'll be finished. Local sighting, if you take that same narration of Abdullah ibn Abbas, how far is it from Sham to Al-Medina? If you go and check right now, it's probably about 70 miles, maybe. Because remember, they used to go from Mecca going north to Sham. And they used to go from Mecca going south, going to Yemen regularly. So if the local sighting in Sham was different from Medina, then we understand if you talk about distance. You could be, Wallahu musta'an, one part of the West Coast and another part be really considered somebody else's locality. But the way we do it, we want the whole America to take a sighting and say this is a local sighting. This is wrong. This is wrong. This is not the way that they understood it and they dealt with it in the text. Talking about areas. Just like we know it can be raining in one place and you go 10 miles down the road, is what? Not raining. So the issue of a local sighting, Allah Mustan, has to be revisited, and we should understand these issues better. At any rate, the last thing, the Prophet ﷺ, Allah told him, فَاسْتَبِقُوا خَيْرَاتٍ, to keep up the things of good deeds that you do. Tabarak wa ta'ala said, وَسَابِقُوا إِلَى مَغْفِرَةٍ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ, and hasten to the forgiveness of your Lord. The correlation is hastening to the forgiveness means you're going to keep up what you're doing of good. This is how you maintain forgiveness, by doing good deeds, by staying away from bad deeds. This all falls on the khairat. And that's why we were fasting in Ramadan. In summer Ramadan, we were fasting in Ramadan. In Qamar Ramadan, we were praising night prayer in Ramadan. In Qamar Laylatul Qadr, we were praising Laylatul Qadr. Imanan, believing in it. Wahtisaban, seeking the reward from Allah. The Prophet said, Ghufra lahu ma taqaddam min dhanbih. He will be forgiven, she will be forgiven, the person will be forgiven for their sins. Some ulama, they said, but these are only the minor sins. Shaikh al-Faqih al-Alam Muhammad Mukhtar Shinqiti, who's alive in the Prophet City, he said about this ayah, he said, about this hadith, the hadith, that ayah, the hadith where the Prophet says, whoever fasts Ramadan, the other word is whoever prays Tarawih, meaning the night prayer Ramadan, whoever prays Laylatul Qadr, and that person believes, he has iman, he's doing it out of iman and to get the reward from Allah, his sins will be forgiven. He said that that's a general text. And you can't take a general text and make it muqayyid, restricted. He said, as for the other hadith that's famously known in Sahih Muslim and others, where the Prophet said, Salawatul Khamsa, the 5 daily prayer. Meaning, ma bainahuma, what's between the salat. Fajr, you pray. Then you do some sin, dhuhr, the sin is wiped away. Dhuhr, you pray. You do some sin, also come, is wiped away. What's between the two salat? What's between the 5 salat? What Jum'ah ila Jum'ah. From one Jum'ah to the next. What's between the two things? Ramadan ila Ramadan. What's between the two Ramadans from year to year? The Prophet said, "Yukaffira ankum sayyi'atikum." Allah will wipe away. This is important too. Because not all sins are requiring Tawbah. Although some scholars say that. Listen to the word of this. Yukaffira. Kafara means to cover and to wipe away. You don't have to say astaghfirullah. You don't have to say, "Oh Allah, arhamni, forgive me, have mercy." Allah Azza wa Jal, by the deed you did alone, the Prophet said, "Yukaffira ankum." Kafara, to cover. So if I say, for example, you're a farmer, you plow and you do crop, and I say anta kafir. The first thing somebody will say, "Man, he just called you a kafir." But linguistically, kafara means to cover. So they say, yani kafara falaha, the farmer, he covered the seeds with the dirt. So when Allah says kafara, to cover your sin, also it includes to wipe it away. And that hadith in Sahih Muslim, the Prophet he said, al-kabair, when you leave off the major sins. And Shaikh, he said, this is talking about something between something as it relates to doing that action between the 5 salah, the Ramadan to Ramadan, the Jummah to Jummah. But the hadith the Prophet mentioned about whoever fasts, whoever prays in the night, whoever prays Laylatul Qadr, he said this is talking about bidatul fi'l. This is talking about the power and the reward of the action itself, not what's between something. So one is talking about what happens between something, and the other is talking about simply, if you do this deed, that's it. Your deeds are wiped away. And the Prophet said, غُفْرَ لَهُ مَا تَقَدَّمَ, all that will be forgiven, min dhanbi, his sins. Dhanbi is general. So we don't have a text to say, kaba'ir, saga'ir. Well, like in the other hadith, the Prophet specified the major sins have to be left off for you to be forgiven between the 5 salah, each one of them, Jummah to Jummah, and Ramadan to Ramadan. But this general hadith, the actions you do in Ramadan, a fast, not you just made it to Ramadan, Allah wiped away some sins just because you lived to see it from one Ramadan to Ramadan and it happened to be the minor sins. No, what you're doing in the Ramadan of fasting, what you're doing in Ramadan of praying in the night, Tawih, what you're doing in the night seeking Laylatul Qadr, that action itself gets all of your sins wiped away. This is the greatness again of what Allah put in the blessed month of Ramadan. Now, and this is why you can say Ramadan Kareem, because Kareem means, wow, look at all of these special things in his bag. That's the meaning of Kareem. All these goodies, all of these blessings, all of these things, I don't know where they come from. Ooh, man, I always wanted that. That, in a nutshell, is Al-Kareem, the generous, the good, the plentiful, the special things. Ramadan is that. So, that in itself is the reason for you to keep up your fast. That's why Sitta Shawwal is so important. Why? Because the thing is, keep up what you were doing. As Iman increases and decreases, you want your Iman to increase, especially in a time like this, because we don't know what's coming next. To be honest with you, they're at war against religion. Let's just be straight. They manipulate, making moves left and right, back door. They are against religion. Point blank. So we don't know what's coming next. So you need to strengthen your Iman. And remember, Iman yazid with yanqus. It goes up and it goes down. But it don't go up on its own. You got to do something, man. And it don't go down on its own. It goes down because you do something. What? Sin. Yanks down your iman like somebody yanked down your drawers off your waist. Leave you exposed, butt naked, embarrassed. Sins do that to your iman. Obedience, righteous deeds, covers you, covers your aura. Like the person covers their body, being dignified and not afraid. Knowledge, the same thing, increases your iman. And ignorance decreases your iman. Lastly, sadaqat, charity. Prophet, he mentioned this many times, the issue of charity. A man came to him and said, Ya Rasulullah, ayyu sadaqatin afdalu. What is the best type of charity? You would think he mean to give money, to give gold, to give silver, give a solid bill, break it up, give food, give clothing, give money and food. No, that ain't what the man meant. He meant, what is the best situation for me to give my charity? The Prophet told him, he said, أن تصدقوا وأنت صحيح شحيح. It's better for you to give charity when you're sahih, you're healthy. Shahih, and you really want to keep it. You want to hold that thing. Because when you're sick, by default, you want to do good because what's on your mind, I might be getting ready to die. That's what Imam Ibn Uthaymeen said when he explained this. And think about it. When you're sick and someone comes to you and asks you for something, Dad, can I have the keys to the car? Dad, I need $50. Dad, can I do this? You just say, yeah. Yeah. You don't even think about it, saying no. Likewise, when you sleep, somebody come ask you, you say, yeah. You wake up and they say, you remember you told me? You say, I told you that. That happened to Shaikh before. He was sleeping. Abdullah, Aisha, the oldest daughter, woke up and said, Ya Shaykh, Ya Habib, kada wa kada wa kada. She asked him a question. He said, yeah, kada wa kada wa kada. Went back to sleep. And when he woke up, she was reviewing this. She said, Habib, Shaykh, remember you said kada. He said, Qutu hada a'udhu billah. He said, no, take that back. Same thing when you're sick. So the Prophet said, Anta saddiqu wa anta sahihun shahih. Give the charity while you're healthy, sahih. Healthy. Well-being, afiyah, wa anta shahih. You hold that thing. Nah, man, I need this. It said, wa ta'mal al-baqa. Wa ta'mal al-baqa goes with wa anta sahih. Ta'mal al-baqa means that you plan to be around for a long time. When you're young, you think you got it all, you're invincible. You don't think you're going nowhere when you're young. You don't think I'm going to check out tomorrow. That's old people, man. People who sick be thinking about that. Man, I'm close to meeting my maker. When you're 79, when you're 68. Yeah, but somebody who's young, vibrant, he can kick, flip, she can roll, she got a nice shape, this, that. They ain't thinking about checking out. Why? Because they're sahih, they're healthy. So you're doing things thinking I'm going to be around. So because you're going to be around, the Prophet said, وَأَنْتَ شَهِيدٌ. You holding that scratch. You hold that money. You ain't trying to get too much up. No, I need this for the next 20 years. I got a budget. He said, وَتَخْشَى فَقْرُ. And you're afraid of poverty. Afraid of poverty matches holding that wealth. أَنْتَ شَهِيدٌ. It said, Hatta balaqatul hulqum. And that will happen to you except if you're on your deathbed. When you're on your deathbed, he said, then you will say, Yani, give this to Fulan, give this to Fulan, give this out. It might be inheritance money. You might say, and give this 20,000 to the masjid for sadaqah. And you just all over the place. Why? Because in your mind, I'm ready to die. I got to do all the good deeds I can do. But when you're well and you're expected to be around, you're going to give less. And that's why the Prophet told them the best charity to give is when you're healthy, you plan to be around, you're not sick, You feeling good and you want to keep your money because you're afraid if I run out, what am I going to do? Anta shahid. Which keeping your money is haram. That's why Allah said, لَن تَنَالُوا الْبِرَّ حَتَّى تُنْفِقُوا مِمَّا تُحِبُّونَ. So you give from what you don't care about. So you give from what you found on the ground. Nah, Allah said, حَتَّى تُنْفِقُوا, until you spend مِمَّا تُحِبُّونَ, what's close to your heart. You love that thing. You don't want to give it up. That's the best charity. Why? Because you know Allah is going to give you back. That's the real reliance on Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. That's not living in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala like we are limited. Allah azza wa jalla owns everything. So the charity, wallah, after Ramadan, the wise one, the one who has intellect, he must keep giving. She must keep giving. Don't worry about COVID-19. Allahu razaq bi COVID-19 or COVID-97 or COVID-1020. Any COVID to come, ayyu COVID sayati, Allah huwa mada arazaq quwwatin mateen. Anything that comes, Allah is still a razaq. Aywa. Wa antum yani muhtajin bi kulli hadhi amal salih. And you are in more need than not of all of these righteous deeds. Lastly, the Prophet ﷺ was in the salat one time praying asr. They said when he taslim, he just jumped up. Normally the Prophet said, make his dhikr. Normally the Prophet said, you don't get up right away, because they had one door. So they didn't want the ladies at the door, the men at the door. Oh, I'm sorry, I bumped you, sister. Maybe you touched her, on her back, or, her buttocks or her shoulder. You didn't mean to, but you at the door, you trying to go out, you thought she was going to stop. She thought you was going to stop. She kept going, collision. Now somebody, wait a minute, you touching my wife, boom, hit you in the head, you fight. Maybe you touch her and she turn around and smack you. Wait a minute, yeah, Khabib. Say, woe to you, you filthy man. I mean, they been human. So the Prophet, when he would pray, his sunnah would be not to taslim and get up and move around. He would taslim and sit, not turn around. But the Sahaba, they knew if the Prophet don't move, we're not going to get up. Allah said, لَا تَقَدِّمُوا بَيْنَ يَدَيِ اللَّهِ وَمَاذَا وَرَسُولِهِ. Don't go before Allah and His Messenger. Allah and His Messenger, they took that literally. If the Prophet don't move, we're not moving. The Prophet don't drink first, we're not drinking. They took it literally. But this particular time, Prophet Taslim jumped up. So imagine you sitting in the road and somebody just start walking and you move like this. Man, he goes, you move, let him through, but he's stepping. So as he's walking, the Arab use the term stepping over the necks of the people. Why? Because he's sitting down and you got to pick your feet up and step between them. So they said, Fuzza. The people were shook like, why did the Prophet jump up? What happened? What's going on? He ran to one of the apartments and he came back out. He said he had some gold, a piece of gold, a piece of gold or silver that he wanted to give in charity. It slipped his mind. Look at the issue of the seriousness of keeping up your deeds. It's also tied to not procrastinating, not being lazy, because that's going to lead to you doing what? Stopping the deed. So this is important for us. And as I told the Imam, maybe I will travel back home soon after this visit. Should take advantage. But moreover, take advantage of your life and your deen, regardless who's around. Take advantage of being a Muslim in this time, because wallahi, this issue is the issue that Allah, He expects for you. فَاسْتَبِقُوا خَيْرَاتٍ. Continue your good deeds. Rush and be hastening and continuing to seek forgiveness and do actions of forgiveness that Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala will forgive you for. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala and yuhyi qulubana ala ta'ah, to make our hearts alive with obedience. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala yub'ad anna kull su'a makruh. We ask Allah to keep far removed from us every sin, wicked thing. ونسأل الله تبارك وتعالى يتقبل منا ومنكم حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل. We ask Allah to accept from us and you the issue of our fasting. تقبل الله منا ومنكم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. جزاكم الله خير.
Shut it down.
Hey, wow. You got to share it too. And this Eid, you don't continue the takbirah after the salah. That's the big Eid for the Hajj. Once